everybody, Prowl here. We are in the brand new Reforj pre-alpha testing again, and I wanted to do a little showcase on how building and sculpting works in the game. You've seen the videos that 4J has put out already, but I just want to go over it a little bit more vocally in detail, and I want to talk about a couple of the limitations that I've seen with it that I think could be slightly improved, but also just talk about some of the great things with it. So we're going to just kind of mess around with it a little bit here. We're not going to do some like big crazy fantastic build, but just a little bit of like basic building, and then I'm going to show you some of the limitations that I have in terms of the aesthetic design. We'll talk about how many things that you can sculpt and some things that I wish you could sculpt that you can't. And I am more in the camp of, I think less is more. I don't think we need 600 options like they originally had in there. I think we just need a couple extra features and we'll probably be good to go. And there's some survival limitations that I want to talk about that I think should and could be pretty easily fixed. All right, so let me clear out a little bit of space here because this grass does get in the way because of its large hitbox size. If I try to like press the button right there, it's going to go there, for example. So let me prepare this area and then we'll get started. Okay, so we're just going to start out with a kind of like simple shape of a house here. And one of the things that is really nice about building in Reforj is you can still do it, of course, but unlike in Minecraft, where to create depth, you would kind of have to like inset your walls because your depth is always one block thick. You're not restricted in quite that way anymore, so you don't have to build that way in Reforj. So let me get a good shape going here so you guys don't have to see me count on camera. And then one thing that they have that's really nice, and this is similar in Bedrock Edition of Minecraft, is you can just hold down the build button and just drag across and it will build for you. I do have some limitations and issues with the way that works. I'll show you that in a little bit, to where it doesn't always stay on track where you want it to, and I have some suggestions on how they can maybe fix that. So all I'm doing right now is basic block placing, nothing that you're not familiar with. And one of the things that you would not be familiar with that exists is the fact that you can kind of snap blocks in place in positions that you can't see. And you can see the little white indicators on screen right now where they kind of point upwards. That's the game knowing that I want to place a block on that face. Whereas you see how those little like pegs are sticking out. It knows that I want to place it to the left of that block. So based on where you're pointed at or close to a block, the game's going to know this, and it's going to tell you where that block will place. It's very nice. The visual is excellent. I like that it works this way. One feedback piece I would have is two things visually. First of all, I don't always like it when I look at the block, it changes the block's color. So I would maybe have an on-off option eventually for the shading to go away and only have the wireframe outline. I would probably also have vice versa. I would actually, I would probably just have on-off for the highlight and on-off for the wireframe, because I think once you get used to building this way, you might find you don't need either. And you would rather just be out of the way. So option of on and off is always good. Gives player the choice. It could default to on, of course, but that's my first thing. But as you can see, doing this is super easy. You no longer have to do the Minecraft way of like jump and then get down and then, oh man, I've decided I want to put another one up there. You don't have to go back up. You do have a limited reach, of course, which is fine and expected. But yeah, that's kind of how that's going to work. We're going to again use the block snapping here, and if I'm correct here, I think if I go here and I hold the button and I start to move, as you see, it'll snap even vertically like that. So it makes building so much easier and more convenient. You're going to find that compared to other games like Minecraft, you are going to be spending less time up and down and then making scaffolding and having to just do the whole up down method that can be really annoying and cumbersome, and it gets kind of old after a while. No longer do you have to do that for short reaches like this. So I want to show you one of the first pieces of feedback I have about the building, and one of the things that kind of trips me up a little bit. So I'm going to hold down click button to build here, and I'm going to drag across. Oh, and you see how I already messed it up? I didn't even know it would do that, honestly. Because what I'm talking about here is when I fall down like off of something, or if you're building off of uneven land, this is going to happen really often. What I would love to see the game do is to know that I have decided to hold right here. I want it to lock to that plane. And even more so, I would love to it not only be stuck to my body, but my cursor. So now if I just drag my cursor across, I would just like it to build out there as far as I can reach. Because now if I want to go over, I'm gonna fall down here. See if I can get this. I want to go over, and you see when I fall down, it changes the axis, the Y level that I'm building on. Also, another thing I'm really not liking in creative mode, there's no crouch button in the game yet. So when you're in creative mode, there's no way to like fly back down without deactivating flying or like sprinting. If I sprint, I can move down, but you hit A to go up. There's no button that makes you go downwards, at least that I've found. Like I'm pressing all sorts of buttons right now. I can't figure anything out. So there's no way to go back down. Makes the creative building a little bit harder. Now, one additional thing with building, I just realized while I was doing this, and probably why they do the movement based like holding and placing the way they do, is because you can build diagonally. So like I can hold right here and then kind of come back at a diagonal, and you see it kind of tracks diagonally. So I think I get why they do it. I would just say that maybe once it detects a direction for you, that direction should just lock. So once it knows I'm going diagonal, it should just continue to stay diagonal and not change based on where my body goes. Because I don't think I can. If I want to change direction, I'm more willing to just like reset my click by letting go of my left trigger and then pressing it again to change directions. That's easy enough for me to do, versus the potential of, and honestly, oftentimes when the direction that you want to go gets changed based on imperfect movements of the controller stick. And let me just say, like, this is just all feedback. This is what we're supposed to be giving. This isn't like a harsh critique or anything like that. They want to know like how building and things go and can be easier. And I want to give you guys the information so that way you kind of understand what I'm going through and thinking and feeling as I play. That way you can agree or disagree with my feedback that we give, and you can kind of weigh in yourselves with 4J so they know what they should prioritize in fixing or changing, and what's a me thing versus what's a wider problem. Okay, so now that I have a basic shape here, I want to talk to you guys and show you a little bit about sculpting and see if I can show you some of the limitations that it has, but overall how powerful and amazing it really is. Sculpting to me really changes the game. It's such a cool, innovative thing, and in general, it's been implemented incredibly well. So, for example, if I want to change these to stairs, on controller, I hold the B button for my select tool, and I can just kind of go around and select whichever sculpting that I want to do. There's 5 options right now, and if you count a full block, there's 6 total shapes that you can make a block. The game actually started with 600, and then they whittled it down to just these 5 options. Now, I know some people, or a lot of people maybe, are going to think, oh, but I mean, why not just give us all 600? More options, the better. People can use it if they want to or not. And I very strongly disagree with that. And I would passionately argue against it. I think in this style of game, part of the charm is going to be less is more. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't want more than these 5. I can think of a few others that I would want, but I don't think the route to go should be to add in a ton of options. If I were 4J, what I would do is I would hopefully, they haven't decided if they're going to do this yet or not, but if and when they do, if they are going to add in any kind of modding capabilities at all, I would put those additional shapes available for modders to be able to access and add to the game. So if you want to add more, you can mod it. The reason why you don't want more shapes to be vanilla is because A, it's going to overwhelm and confuse people. Not everybody's a master builder. In fact, most people are not. So if you give them too many options, they're going to feel overwhelmed. So you do not want to do that. And number two, part of the charm of a game like this is honestly going to be what can people do with the shapes that are available to them. And again, that doesn't mean that this has to be all of the shapes, but this should be most of them. I don't think there should be a whole lot more, because people are going to be able to make some really cool looking, amazing things with what's available. And then if people want to do more than that, they can just mod. Modding would be fine. And I'm sorry, I can't set it to daytime. There's in pre-alpha, there's no way to do that yet, but I'll try to work on the side with the moon here. That way you guys can see. So let's go ahead and shape the roof, right? We're going to go the traditional style of a Minecraft stair. And actually, I guess before we do it up there, let me show you what it looks like down here, because there's a new indicator. You see the green. The green is where the bend in the shape is going to go, where I'm carving out that part to make it a stair. And you could do it on any side as long as you see that green show up. It doesn't matter where you stand. And I think I like that. And I would even go as far as saying, I think it would be a cool future option for Jay, for you guys to have an option to have it directionally based on where you stand instead of mouse position or crosshair position. I think I like the crosshair position better. But who knows? I could like standing position better, or maybe for different things that you're doing, maybe one could be beneficial more so than the other. I'm not totally sure, but I think that option would be really good and important to add in. I would definitely add it. But I do like how it works now. And you just hit the like break block button, right trigger, and that'll sculpt it. Now, once a block is sculpted once, you cannot change the sculpt. I can't be like, oh man, you know what? I really meant to do a slab. There's no changing anything to another shape. If you want to change it, you have to break it and you have to replace it. And by the way, when you have the sculpting tool selected, that's how you break. You would hit it, you would press it once, and I'm going to show you this in survival, by the way, because this is one of the things I think they should change. You press it once to change it, and then you would mine the block up from there to get rid of it and replace it down, just like this. So this works the same with any shape, and I'm going to go ahead and show you all the shapes now. So we have the stair block, the slab, I don't know, we need names for these. I think there should be a name for this. 4J, can you give us names? I think I would like that. I just realized that, because I don't know. I would call this a 45-degree angle. I don't know what you would want to call these. I'm sure they have actual like geometric names, but I don't know what those are off the top of my head. So 4J, help me out here, please. But see, look, I keep doing it. I'm not used to controllers, so this is a me problem, not a 4J problem. But there you go. There's all of your different shapes that you have available. There are some restrictions. Minecraft people, you're going to know what I'm talking about here. We like in Minecraft to connect our stairs, right? So I could do this, and I could do this, but I can't do this. I cannot make a bend. So this is one of those shapes or features that I think we need to have added in, and I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll add that in. It's going to be a common request. So that's going to be one. Now, if I am in creative mode and I want to sculpt all of these, it's super easy. I just hold down my right trigger and I just go across. Look at how easy that is. It's really nice. I like it quite a lot. Now, can I put myself in survival mode in the world? I don't think I can. I think I have to exit the world. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I've exited the world. I'm back in. I am in survival mode now. And the reason I wanted to do this is show you one of the things that I think is a little bit of an issue or a roadblock that I think they should solve. I want to sculpt multiple of these into stairs, I want to build this out of stairs, right? I want this to be stairs. So I had to go through and place all the blocks. And now I need to go through and I need to change all the blocks. Now, if you're seeing this for the first time, the hand thing is not a permanent tool. Ooh, look, I can't even hold it. Nope, you can't even hold it while you're in survival. You have to press it each time, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But the hand thing is not your permanent tool. It's just a placeholder. They're going to add some type of tools into the game in the future. They're just not that far yet. So I wanted to go and do this, right? Takes a little bit of time. Takes a little bit of time versus other games where you would just craft a stair block. So here's my suggestion. I want to be able to place a block as a stair block or as any of these blocks. So I think what I would say, or what I would recommend, is that this sculpting tool also be more of a selection tool. So if I'm just on the middle and I place a block down, I want it to just place the block. That's fine. But if I'm doing stairs, a lot of stairs, I don't want to have to go through and touch every block twice. I don't want to place a bunch of stairs down and then have to like hold on each one to sculpt it. That actually makes building take longer. And one of the really nice things about this so far is building actually, you have more control and you could do it faster based on how they've done things. So to incorporate that, or to complement that, I think when you go here and I pick stair, if I place a block down, I want it to be a stair. I want it to be a stair. I don't want it to be in block form anymore. Also, I think another thing that I would like to have done is I think I want to be able to change the shape of a block. So if I place a block, let's say I do a stair and oops, I accidentally carved the wrong side of it by mistake. I don't want to have to take the thing up and then replace it and then recarve it. I would really like just be able to change it. Now, I don't know the best control method for them to do it, but that's what I would like to be able to do. Or at the very least, if it's not like, oh, I want to like rotate this way, then maybe for that I do have to break it and replace it. But maybe if I could just like select another tool and then like hit it and then like change it to that. And I don't care, or even like, let me change it back to a full block too. So maybe that's going to require some type of very slight like redo of this. But yeah, I want to be able to change a block back. I don't want to have to break it and replace it. I think that just makes sense, especially like this world is kind of based on some type of like magic or super technology or something like that. It would make sense that I could just like transform the block into whatever I want. I could sculpt it back. I could add the material, because you get the material back anyways, right? If I break this, I get the full block back. So you can recreate material. That already happens. So let me just transform the block back to whatever shape I want. Now, for me, I'm not a natural builder. I've gotten good at building in Minecraft over time with the tools that I've been given. It's probably going to take me a while to get good with that here in Reforj, or at least it'll take me a little bit longer. So I'm going to keep this one kind of simple. So you could take a shape like this, which doesn't really have a whole lot of depth and definition to it. It's kind of your typical like Minecraft style house. And you're actually, before I continue, let me finish this off really quick. So now I want to take something like this and I want to add some shape and definition to it. Okay. And honestly, this is probably one of the times that when I'm building, I might start with blocks and a lot of, like, I know I want my roof to be stairs. So I'll place that as stairs as per my previous suggestion, but maybe the rest of the house, I don't know what I want to do. And I kind of figure that out as I go. Right. So maybe I want to try some like cool rounded corners here, and I would just go ahead and convert these to be round. That like adds a little bit of a layer or level of depth. And I probably want to add another one of these guys up here maybe. And I'm going to do that to all of the corners. Or maybe that's not what I want to do. Maybe I want to add in some like little notches. Look at that. That could look kind of cool. For now though, I think I'm going to stick with the rounded edges. Next, maybe I want to have a little bit more unique shape to the roof. Let's go ahead and let's make all of these slopes to go along with the slabs that we already did, or these stairs that we already did. I like that look quite a bit. I do need to fix this. And I don't think I can get to that face. So I'm actually gonna have to break a block, sculpt this, and then replace this back down, and then sculpt that. There we go. So there we go. Looks good. There's a little bit of a gap there just because how the shapes work out, but it's fine. Okay, here we go. We're starting to get somewhere, right? So now I can create some additional depth. Let's go ahead and grab the slab block and let's make some vertical slabs around my door here. Now I have an inset door. And then I can even add a little bit more detail in here with some stairs to kind of go up that way. And again, give me a little bit more depth. I think it looks kind of neat. I like it. We can add in some stairs here. And maybe actually, I like the idea of instead of having that kind of like squarish front, maybe we want to round that off here. And here, I think that looks kind of good. Also, we can add a little bit of detail up here. I'm going to replace the stone bricks. I'm going to put a stair here. I'll put a block here. And a lot of people back in the day, you would have done something like this, right? Or like this. But we can actually be a little bit more fun and creative than that. We could instead maybe take out this shape. Whoops. And then now we have that like cool semicircle that way. I think it looks pretty neat. I can add it. I'm going to add in like a cool little window here. Hold on. I'm pressing the wrong button quite a bit. So look at this. We could go like this, this. Oh, you know what? I have an even better idea. Hold on. So what if we place a block here, carve out this side, place a block here, carve out this. See where I'm going? We have an oval shaped window. That looks so cool. I like it. Now the only thing that you can't do, and I really wish you could do this, and I don't know if they have a way to make this happen. 4J, you guys tell me, because these are definitely like taken up by blocks. Like there's something here. This is a block, but man, would I love to be able to put some glass inside of here and then like make it into a pane. So this is a shape that doesn't exist that I wish did. But I wish I could take out the two sides and just have the middle to be a glass pane. Maybe it could be like a wall block type shape. So we could use that same shape to like make walls that connect together. I think would be kind of cool. And I have a couple other shape suggestions here in a moment. But yeah, something like that would be really, really nice to be able to do. It's not the end of the world. I can come to the inside here if I can get in it. Now I could place a block here. Oh, nope, not you. And I could place glass here, here, here. And I could at least make these slabs like this. And you know what I wish I could do? I wish I could carve it again. Oh man, that'd be really neat. Like if some shapes you could carve twice, like I wish I could carve this to make it circular as well. That would be really nice. But anyways, from the inside, it doesn't look perfect, but from the outside, it looks pretty neat. I like it a lot. It looks really cool. There's so many things that you can do with Reforj when it comes to building. I could add in some depth here with some slabs. Super duper easy. Or maybe I don't want that much of an inset. Maybe instead I just want a little bit. I could go like this. And like that. That looks really cool. So there's tons of options for you inside of Reforj that exist already when it comes to building and sculpting. I've given you a lot of my feedback throughout this video. This was just kind of an introductory, a basic video. And as far as suggestions go outside of what I've already said, I would just like to see them add a couple more shapes in here. I would like to see a wall block type shape. I would like to see a fence and a fence gate type shape. Maybe something that would resemble like a shutter or a trap door. I really like the trap doors. Something that would resemble a pressure plate. So something kind of small, like a single thin layer that you could put down of any block would be really awesome. I don't think they need to give us the ability to like stack those layers because again, I think less can be more. But if I could put down a thin, say like 1/8, 1/10 of a size layer of a block down on the ground, that would be really cool as well. And maybe if I could even put that up against the wall so it could be any orientation, that would be really nice. And that's about all I can think of for now. So hopefully you guys found a lot of good information, useful information in the building. Hopefully I've gotten some ideas kind of going in your head already in terms of like cool, interesting, amazing things that you're going to be able to do, because there are quite a bit of them. I can't wait to see what some of you like mega builders out there do. My mind is already getting going in terms of what's possible and what's not. So I can't wait to try it out myself and try different things and see how those different things work. Like that definitely does not work, but something like that right there could. That actually looks kind of good. I like that. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you want to see a whole lot more great Reforge content, I need you to help me out. Click the subscribe button to the channel so I can keep making this type of amazing content for you guys. And I'll see you in the next showcase video.